Christmas, everybody. This has to be the best time of the year. You just sit around drinking hot chocolate, you go outside, you build a snowman and it attacks you, and then you go for a drive and you slip down the road and probably get in an accident, and then you open up some presents and you don't get what you want, and then you watch some Christmas movies and get disappointed. It's the best time of the year. Actually, I love watching Christmas movies. Every year, I got my selection I have to watch, no matter what. You know, Muppet Christmas Carol, gotta watch Christmas Vacation, gotta watch Home Alone, maybe Die Hard, you know, maybe Schindler's List. You gotta watch them all. And this year, I got to watch Arthur Christmas. I've been waiting about 7 years to do so, but since I've been reviewing all these Sony Pictures animation films, courtesy of Ryan on Patreon, he set it up where I'd be reviewing Arthur Christmas during Christmas time. What a smart dude. So, I'm going to be reviewing Arthur Christmas. I've never seen it. And I gotta say, I've only ever heard great things about this. So that means it's gonna be great and I'm gonna love it, right? Yeah. I really wanna love it.
Wow, 2011? It's already been 7 years since this has come out. It seems like it came and went at the time, but it feels like just yesterday when it was out in theaters, and I chose not to see it. Time sure goes by fast. It was done by Aardman, who also did Chicken Run and Wallace and Gromit. I'm a Chicken Run fan, so this kind of work should be right up my alley. This was a case of computer animation rather than their traditional approach of stop motion, so I wonder what would have happened had they gone that route instead. It's about Santa Claus and his family, which includes a son, played by Hugh Laurie, who plans to take the main job in the future, and his other son, Arthur, who mainly deals with the mail. They use a giant spaceship in order to deliver each present, but accidentally they miss just one, and then everyone decides it isn't worth it until Arthur, along with his grandpa and former Santa Claus, decide to make the trip themselves. So this premise is interesting enough, and that's what intrigued me the most about it. It had such a great concept for how the North Pole works, and it has a good explanation for the possibility of delivering every present to all the children around the globe, and the new high-tech sleigh has a smart cloaking device. I really like this voice cast, which has Hugh Laurie as the general-like brother, and James McAvoy as Arthur, both of whom are great and underrated actors. There's also Jim Broadbent as a sort of ditzy Santa, which seems like perfect casting. I'm surprised it took him this long to get a role playing Santa, honestly. And the story is a lot smaller than you'd think, which makes the overall moral better. Making sure this one girl on the planet gets her gift becomes such a determination for Arthur, even though everything was done almost correctly to make sure this doesn't happen. Despite all of that, he decides to take on the challenge anyway, and it makes him extremely likable. I think that this movie is probably Sony Animation's best animated yet, besides some future movies I have yet to review. I'm looking at you, Spider-Verse. It has a wide array of colors and backdrops, along with many different settings. It makes for a great adventure when they travel all around the world, and it's the first road movie that I can think of that takes place over the course of one day. Now, with all the good stuff, I still felt underwhelmed by the picture. Maybe it was the hype that got me ready for a really amazing Christmas movie, but if I were to critique my personal problems, I guess I just felt that I had seen this kind of story before. We've already had the Santa Claus and Elf and Fred Claus, and while they're not the exact same story, a lot of them show similar themes and the North Pole attributes that are shown in Arthur Christmas. So a lot of these ideas don't seem too new. The humor doesn't really do it for me either. I get a laugh once in a while, but a lot of the conversations just leave me with nothing. Sometimes the dialogue goes too fast or so cluttered that you don't really get a chance to process a joke. Even then, some of the sight jokes are so odd that I can't figure out how to feel about them. I'm in awe of the weirdness, but it doesn't really make me laugh. The biggest problem might be the family itself. I like the voice casting, but the characterizations can come across as too mean. Santa doesn't seem to care for Arthur at all, and I get that it's meant to be that way to service a better climax, but come on, this is supposed to be a likable guy, right? It is Santa after all, and he never accepts Arthur until the very end. Even then, Santa doesn't seem too worried about delivering that lost gift until after the fact. Are you serious? The guy who's all over the Coke cans and we send letters to doesn't care enough about one girl's gift?
It still does things that I really like. I like the environment of the movie. I like that it has a great Christmas spirit to it. I like the voice acting. I do like the story enough. It's interesting. But I just think that maybe the humor and the characters kind of fell flat for me. I could see myself watching this movie for the Christmases to come, and who knows, maybe I'll like it even better. Sometimes humor can be so subjective, and it can depend on the time of day. It can depend on how you're feeling that day or in that year, or who knows even. In a couple of years, I might find the humor of this movie to be a lot better than I remember. But for now, I can see why other people like it, but it's not my particular favorite Christmas movie.
Thank you for watching the video. A special thanks to Movie Johnson, Ryan, and Lucas for supporting me on Patreon. If you'd like to be like them and get exclusive access to content and blogs, and even request reviews monthly, please click on the Patreon link, and thanks for your support.